Well, hello everyone. Hello Twitchers, hello YouTubers. You'll see this a little later today. But hey, welcome. Welcome to Flying with Mike Viewer Appreciation Month rocks on for another couple of weeks here in the month of July. And today we're bringing out again the A350-271. That is, for those of you that love that version, it's equivalent to the IAE of the A320 and the 319. Hang on a second here, folks, if it's still up, and it is. Just wanted to put that out. Today is the affiliate anniversary date. As you can tell, as tardy as I am, would not have been a good idea to do a super fantastic, fandazzle, razzmatazz type stream. So, we're just going to fly from Reno down to San Diego. What do you think? Two great vacation destinations. Actually, I'm trying to think if about this time in the year, Reno is kicking up with the air races. But far beneath me, I totally forgot something, folks. Totally forgot Oshkosh. I did not put that in my listings. That loose nut behind the stick needs to lose his job. Can't believe I did that. Anyway, folks, but I think you'll like the second half of the month. Schedule's up in Discord, down at the bottom here on Twitch. YouTubers, if you look in the comment section, or not the comment, the more section of our page there, go to that Twitch link and you'll see in about the flight schedule. It has been included, and the rest of the month is there for you. So you get an idea. We are going to enjoy Africa a little bit in the second half of the month. So a little more than I think we've done already. So, but anyway, folks, like I said, today is that date you all made Flying with Mike an affiliate with all of your support, kindness, and love behind it all. Whether you love the show or love to hate the show, hey, we love you all just the same. So, we are going to get this one on the road. New airline we're flying with here, folks. Now, it's not a virtual airline that I know of yet out there. Although it is taking the country literally by storm. I mean, for a while there, my Facebook stuff was just a buzz with this new destination, that new destination. Over here's another new destination. So this is going to be an airline to watch. A lot of interesting things I haven't been able to verify from sources I've listened to about this airline. But folks, definitely going to be an interesting one to watch. So Breeze Airline, Airlines, I'm not sure how they go from there, but they do have the 250 or 300 Neos, or 320 Neos, my bad. Also the A220s, that's an airplane I haven't seen yet, so be interested to see it. And Embraers, so interesting startup out there. Been around for a couple of years and really starting to branch out into the country. So give her a run today. Now, this is not a typical Breeze airline type flight. It actually would have fell under Southwest in the real world, but you know, hey, let's give some love to Breeze since we're in that mood today. All right, so with that, let's climb up into the cockpit here and get this plane going, get back on time, if that's even possible. I have helped us a little bit here, folks. I've got the cockpit pretty much ready to go. We'll just do a quick review of what's been done to date and go from there. Before we get into that pre-flight, folks, just want to say everyone is welcome. exclamation mark ticket will get you in the running. Final flight, we'll talk about it in flight of the month. It has been set, and I am putting it in stone as the, hang on, before I say it wrong, Thursday the 27th. That's right, I know, a weird day. You're going, that's kind of weird to end the month on. Well, folks, I don't know what my weekend looks like, so it's safe to say the 27th will be the last flight of Viewer Appreciation Month. Not to say one could creep up those 2 days, Friday or Saturday, Sunday. For now, this is the one we're calling it, and I think you're gonna like it. The CEO came up with it. I was looking for something with a little razzmatazz to it. You gotta put a grand finale to this, and I think we found it. So I hope you enjoy the flight. Take a look. You can get a sneak peek, poke, if you go to my Discord channel. Right under flight schedules, go figure that one, and you can get a sneak peek. For those of you all dismayed and saddened and just downhearted and distraught that the Writers Guild and Actors Guild have gone on strike, hey, that's what we're here for. Here to cheer you up, have a great time. Sorry, folks. I watch more reruns than new stuff, so it doesn't bother me. And most of the movies that come out in the theaters, they haven't come up with a new idea in 20 years, so what's new? Nothing. So that's why I don't go. All right, so but we're going to leave that. I know it's important to them, and they're trying to make it important to you, but really, in the grand scheme of things, folks, when they come up with some new material, hey, then it might be of value to me. So, but anyway, enough. That is as far as we delve into politics, folks. That is a whole different world to me. And sorry, I have a hard time. So, all right. So let's bring up Sim Toolkit and press on. Here's the pre-flight, folks. There's Sim Toolkit, our one-stop shop, as I like to call it. Basically, you can do everything, folks, from flight planning, flight tracking, to flight review. Right here, one piece of software, and it's free. So I highly recommend it, folks. And they don't pay me. They don't give me anything to say all of this, folks. I'm telling you because it really helps me out. The flight review portion of this, while granted it's just metrics, numbers, really helps you to then with X-Plane use the replay to go back and learn what did I do wrong. So really, honest to God, great tool. You can see the VATSIM traffic over here, the green guys. If there's anything blue you see, that would, oh, here's one. That would be Sim Toolkit. Not to say that some of these green guys could be Sim Toolkit as well. It could be doubling as the same agent. So anyway, really a great tool. We're going to show you how it's a one-stop shop. You can make this even more than what comes out of the downloads you get. For instance, you'll get SkyVector. That's a free program, folks. Here you go. If you're not familiar with it, folks, it's free. Skyvector.com. You can get all your charts for the U.S. You can get VFR, IFR. You can go to the world, but you can't get world airport charts. You have to only settle for the U.S. But it's a great tool. This is a homogenized sectional, meaning they've taken all the sectionals between Reno and San Diego, and well, around the world, and they kind of push them together taking out all the little edges. Here's what one of them would look like. Let me pull it up towards Reno. You know, you guys may not have ever seen a sectional, so why not? Let's do it. All right, so here's actually what a sectional map looks like for a pilot. Okay, it's just a little, I know folks, you're going, oh, wait a minute, Flying with Mike, that looks like a piece of paper. Yeah, believe it or not, they're on paper. It's not on your little gizmo in your hand. Yeah, these things you unfold out and you can find, you know, they have these for roads too. I know, I just blew a lot of minds out there. But yeah, they actually do. So, and truck drivers, don't ever call me in a call center and say, I can't find this on my GPS. Get your frickin' map out. Period. End of discussion on that. I drove a truck for 10 years. Get over it. Pull the map out. Sorry, that one was kind of hilarious. Can't find it on my GPS. Oh my gosh. Oh, this generation. Anyway, enough said, enough fun, enough teasing. But that was, oh boy, oh man, there's a whole story to that, folks. Woo. We're going to leave that. You're going to just have to go, yeah. Let's just say that trucker's thankful my supervisor stepped in before I went one word more further on him. But anyway, this is what a map looks like, folks. And I know a lot of you are like, I have no idea what a map is. Well, they're there. When you go into a little gas station, they're there, folks. Not this one. Got to go into a flight shop for that, but still. Anyway, they fly with these. And so what SkyVector did is they took this map for San Francisco, LA, all the different US sectionals, all the different worldwide sectionals, got rid of all of this here, all of this here, and so forth, and put them together so that when you click, where is it? World, no, not World, World VFR, there it is. They're all together. Now, every now and then you'll be able to catch them where they got them crooked, just ever so slightly, but you can catch it every now and then. I think like right here looks like one. You can kind of see a line. You know, not a big deal, folks, but that gives you an idea of how this chart is generated. And it's great because now you can see the whole country versus that little chart trying to figure out, all right, I'm going from Reno. How do I get to Chicago? This gives you the whole country, and you can then zoom in and see the airways that do show up on the, see, you can kind of see them here, these blue lines and so forth. And it does the same thing when you see world high. That's your high en route charts, which IFR pilots use, airliners, a big one, and your en route low, everyone else below 18,000 feet in this country. Different altitudes, different countries. So that's SkyVector. Now, I have added NavGraph. Now, NavGraph, folks, is the company that we all know who do this, update, you know, sends out a RNAC for you to update your FMCs in your flight sim. Well, they now have a program. Remember how I said SkyVector will not give you worldwide airport charts, meaning you're not going to get your ILS charts, your NDB, your VOR, RNAV kind of charts, your SIDS, your stars. However, for an additional fee to your FMC update information you get the world here in this charts program. So if you're flying from, say, Paris to, I'm trying to, off the top of my head, let's go to Budapest. They're all there. You don't have to hunt and peck and try and figure out where are these charts on the internet. Right here in this program. And it's really nice. It's just a small fee added. It's a monthly subscription. And they update, regularly. It's not like your monthly RNAC updates. It's different. But they keep them as up to date as possible. so you can fly the most up-to-date information out there. Still don't use it for the real world, but for the simulation world, it's fantastic. So, and you can see our routing here. There it is. Okay, the other things you see here, here's my sim brief plan for the flight. Again, just took my sim brief that's on the internet that I use on a browser, and I was able to incorporate it into Sim Toolkit. And on top of that, the ATIS program. This is the one I talk about when you're in the United States. I didn't look, so I don't know. Reno, RNO. There we go. What you're seeing on the screen here is the current, or they tout at this website. And if I put it up here, you'll see it. Hang on, DATIS. At that datis.cloud.io, you're going to get what they tout to be the most latest, greatest real-world ATIS information the pilots tune in. You can know if this is in this database. The ATIS will be in your chart at the top. Digital ATIS. Not every airport in the United States have it. Not every tower-controlled airport in the United States have it. Many of them do. And you saw that all you got to do is click the drop down, and there they all are. To include Anchorage, Honolulu, and San Juan, Puerto Rico. So, great tool to get a visual idea. What are we looking at when we get to wherever we're going? Like right now, I can pull up San Diego. Dun, da, da, dun, da, da, dun, da, da. There we go. And here, right now, as of 1851, winds are 210. 10, we can get that off the METAR real easy. But, as you all know, if you're familiar with ATIS's, landing runway 27. Aha! That means the localizer, visual, and RNAVs are in use. Okay. Departing runway 27. Okay. They don't have another runway, so guess what? Before crossings, northbound prohibited. With wingspans. Okay, this is, again, gives you some of the real world information. Also, for those of you flying the more up-to-date, I'll call them aircraft, we're talking like the 737 NGs, the Airbuses, 320, 319. Well, no, those you can't put in wet runways. You can find out if the runway braking action is affected here. And yes, folks, some sims, that's now built in when it comes into the sim from the METAR. So, might have a slick runway. Gonna have to prepare for it. So, that's not for, well, until you get a rain slicked runway, but real slickness comes in about 3 to 4 months, depending on where you fly. So, alright, so there you go. I went way long here, folks. Let's get rolling. Alright, so let's find out what we're doing weather-wise in Reno. Calm wind, 10 miles clear, and 3009. Okay, pretty simple day out of here. Let's see. You kind of saw it for San Diego. A little updated. Okay, this is a little outdated actually here. We had 18 something over there. This is 17, so this is a little outdated. And then over here, our loadout sheet. I just got word all the passengers have signed their NDA, so 156 people signed their confidentiality to us, so they will not talk about how badly the flight goes. 156 for the packs, 34,320 pounds of payload. You can see the zero fuel weight and the fuel that's going to be uplifted. Cost index is 8, and we're going to go to 39,000 feet. All right, so let's clear out Sim Toolkit and let's folks get ready to fly with Mike. All right, so for the departure today, folks, I am going to bring up the desktop version of that nav graph chart you saw, and that way it doesn't take up the whole screen, so hang on. Okay, so we're on San Diego here while I was doing some getting ready. So here's our flight, folks. Again, this is how it would read. See how it says D-ATIS? That's how you would know that site could be used. Datacomms, ATIS, you'll get a PDC or DCL, your clearance otherwise, and your rest of your frequencies. Now we're up here planning 17 right, and I am not sure. Oh, it just came up. Okay, cool. I was getting ready to say, I don't know if it brought the routing up to you yet or not. So 17 left, they're calling. We're going to go 17 right. I like more runway, folks. I don't know about you. And taxi will be Alpha to the end of the run. Okay. All right, I see we're in a commercial break, so those of you that can hear my voice, thank you so much for subscribing. Means a lot to me, folks. That's how I was able to purchase the Toliss A319 and 320 that you see here today, was with revenue earnings from those subscriptions. Thank you so much. It's also how the 747 got funded. So much appreciated, and I just wanted to give a good shout out to y'all. We'll wait for them to come back to begin the pushback procedure. So while we wait, folks, again, exclamation mark ticket will get you in the running for the gift card we're raffling away on the 27th of this month. It's a Thursday on that last flight. And every flight we fly between now and then, you're eligible to get another ticket. So welcome back, those of you that had to endure those commercials. Glad to have you still here with us. We're about ready to push back. We're going to basically push back facing north, take Alpha to the end of the runway. All right, let's first check a couple things. Doors closed. Let me finish up the few things we have before pushing back. Altimeters 3019. Let's double check with Sim Toolkit. 3018. Drop one. Okay. And I'm remiss in not getting Mac Air fired up any sooner, folks. Sorry, they're who we're flying for again today. Folks, I fly a lot of my flights with them. Just a fantastic airline. Captain Mac, if you all watch YouTube streams, fantastic airline he put together. A lot of aircraft for you to pick from. Just about every one out there is there at the airline in a livery that you can select. And if the plane isn't in that specific livery, they're not going to be persnickety. I'm sorry, we cannot let that airplane. Oh, no, you can't have that pirate. As some airlines are out there, but you got to know that before you go in, folks, so that way you're you know what's coming. They are a great airline. They got 4 or 5 different divisions, from what you come into when they accept you to the open division. Then you have a cargo division, charter division. Cargo is just what it says, cargo. Charter, meaning you can basically fly just about, if they don't have a scheduled route between point A and point B that you want to fly, if you're a part of the charter division, which you can add on, then you can set that up. They have a historical division. I know a lot of you love flying the historic aircraft. There's one out there that's a craze right now on the other sim. Have at it, guys. And then they have a pro division, and it's exactly like you might kind of envision when you hear the word pro. They actually fly with you as instructors, helping you improve your flying through check rides and all of that. They have group flights, destinations of the month. We just flew at top of Sweden, well, top of a inlet in Sweden, but anyway, but great destinations, and just all in all, great bunch of people, great website, great Discord. I mean, I can't say enough greatness about it. I enjoy flying with them, folks. And believe it or not, I've got well over 10,000, maybe 12,000 hours now with VATSIM flying and logbook flying with all the different VAs I've been with over the last 25 years. I still learn something. And that's a good thing, folks. That's, oh my God, you're kidding me. Yeah, that is always a good thing that you keep learning. Captain Mac has shown me a couple little tricks I didn't even know were right in my face. And he's been there, the one to show them to me. So, and I hope I've shown him a couple tricks here and there along the way, and all of you. So, flying is fun. I've actually done it in the real world. Got about 250 hours in Cessnas, Pipers, and Beechcrafts. Single engine, of course. And I have had the pleasure, as I know some of you love the plane as much as I do, the Bonanza. I'm not talking the straight tail. I'm talking the good old great one, the V-tail. And that was a fun plane to fly in the real world. So I try to bring a little bit of that here, but it's so outdated. Most of the time, to me, it feels irrelevant. So, but anyway, let me get this ACARS fired up. I am just getting way too winded here. So we can get the show on the road. I'll bet 10 to 1 they've never heard of Breeze because it's that new. Let's see here. Let's find a good one. The reason I say that, they don't have the ICAO for the A320 that we're flying today. It's A20 November. Just like the Neo for the A321 November. So I'm just looking for something close. Whatever comes up first that's close. United. You know what? That's a good one. Load it. Oh, you dummy. You forgot to get your flight plan first. Alright, so we got, how many can we put on here? We're going to say 146. Whoops. Fat fingers need to go away. Put this in real quick. Our flight planned route. 39,000. And turn off that start. Alright, so that is now running. Basically, the ACARS system they use, folks, looks a lot like K-Cars, I think it is, or Smart Cars, and they are working on a new one. I'm looking forward to that finally releasing and getting to get my grubby hands on it now. They're doing some testing and all with the company that's putting it out, so that ought to be awesome. The website will see some updates too, obviously, with that. Alright, enough chit-chat. Let's do it, shall we? Let me do one last check here in the sim world. Oh boy. For now, I think I'm going to stay offline. Now, if I hear people wanting to fly with me out there or are out there that would like, let me know. I will get going. Real quick, what I have nav graph up for is take a look at our departure. Again, NorCal, 4,400 feet up in the air, folks. MSL for the airport. That's where we're starting at. So density altitude, middle of summer, big factor. Always check that if you're definitely flying reciprocated. Doesn't matter though, it affects all types of aircraft. RNAV GPS required, 18,000, as is every airport in the North America continent. Minus maybe a couple spots in Mexico, but overall, 18,000 you can bank on in the North American area. The islands, that's a different story. So, this is specific for 17 left, 17 right, so if you're going the opposite way, you gotta find another one. Or, it doesn't even pop up with it when you set it up. So anyway, we'll be departing on the right side, top altitude of 19,000 feet. Well, we're going straight up. So climb heading 167 to 4920, then direct Zephyr, then on to depicted route. Okay, so 4920, then we make our turn towards Zephyr to X-pose. Jackpot, not jackpot, sorry, Casino, however you want to say it, and then DARBI, where we transition onto our route. So pretty sane, pretty decent run. You know what? I've changed my mind. Stand by. I'm just going to go ahead and pop on. Little hesitant with LA. I've had a lot of bad luck talking with being a part of LA Center or approaches that a lot of times I just drop before I come in, not to be aggravated by them. And to me, there's nothing wrong with it. I know some of you go, that's just wrong. I said, well, yeah, they'll get over it because there's a ton of aircraft always in there. And that's the other problem, getting a word in edgewise. So. All right, and poof, we have a flight plan in the system. Poof, we're connecting A22 or 20 November. We are flight MXY 5720. And I am being very remiss. You know, we've been on the air now about 30 minutes or so, almost 40 minutes. Folks, join me tomorrow. Tomorrow we're kicking off early on Saturday. We have a celebratory flight. Today is the day we became an affiliate 2 years ago. Because of your generosity, you're just wanting to be a part of Flying with Mike. And that's what this whole month is geared for. But in proper celebration, when I come off shifts, I work a 24 on 48 hour shift out at the airport. I am usually beat and needing a nap, needing just downtime to recoup. And so the next day is the one to fly on. So that's what I did. I took the next day, which this case is even better. You all, most of you, not all of you, are off on Saturdays. And you are more than welcome to join us. 1400, between 1400 and 1500 Zulu, I am kicking the stream off. We're flying out of Honolulu, Hawaii to Tokyo. Narita, to be specific. I'll be in the Fearless 747-200, and it's about an 8-9 hour run, folks. Now, I can hear some of you going, oh my gosh, I can't fly on a sim for 9 hours. Great. Meet up with, come out of Guam. It's about a 4 hour or so run. Come out of Nadia, Okinawa. You're even closer. And just kind of figure out what that timing, you know, kind of look at it, look at the stream, see how far out we are, and make your plan so you can try, we can all try to come into Narita at about the same time. That's just as good as if we all flew across the ocean. But yeah, we're gonna have a great time. I may open Discord. I'm always very hesitant in opening the voice channel because some people just really don't know how to check their voice at the door and realize that young ears and people, people just don't need to hear that kind of language, even though they think it's the way it's supposed to be. Oh, good. Go to your local tavern, because I don't. So, and again, folks, I used to drive a truck. I'm a firefighter, so I could really, if I wanted to, open up and make you cry with words that could come out of my mouth. So, with God's good grace, he's worked on me quite hard, and I'm not going to tolerate it on channels that I have. And if I do, I immediately mute it, and it's done. Last time I did it, just took one person, folks, and that's it. So that's why you don't hear the Discord channel much here. So, but anyway, there's our departure brief. Let's get this thing pushing back. Okay, doors are closed, altimeters are set. Flight directors here. Let's just get in the center. Makes it a whole lot easier. 30.8, 30.18. Flight directors, go to their constraints, go to their constraints. VOR set 40. There we go. I'll drop that one to 20. Speed's ready, heading's ready, altitude's not. $39, okay. And with the dot there, that means managed. All of these are managed by whatever's in the box here. Okay, finally, anti-skid nose wheel steering switch all in one right here and is in the on position. And switching panel, that's right here, folks. All switches straight up, straight towards the panel, and that is normal. Transponder set. Oh, a little further. And on. Okay, a little trick here with this, folks. If you run into a controller saying you're not squawking mode C, and I found this in Flight Factor first, and it seems to spread to Toliss, and I don't know why. When you look at the gauge here, let me see if I can zoom down here. Let you see this real quick. Auto and on. Okay. I want to hear an answer. What does auto mean to you? Shout it out. Yeah, it means it turns on when needed, right? No, you got to turn it to on. Turning this knob doesn't really do anything other than, okay, there I'm on altitude reporting. Okay, it is Flight Factor only because it didn't change. Okay. It did one other time, so they may have fixed that too, for all I know. But yeah, Flight Factor had a, man, me and this controller, he was getting hostile with me, and I'm like, dude, get over it. We ain't hurting anyone. And like, geez, this got ridiculous. So if you get into that, check that, and make sure that green mode C light on your Xbox or whatever is lit, or some of them come apart. So anyway, all right, we just need to turn the beacons on. Well, we're going to do that here in just a second. Let's just make sure bleed air is on, ground controls checked, and fuel pumps are on. We're ready to go. Here we go. Let's call in better pushback. A free utility.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
I want to go home. I want to go home.
Grounded cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Okay, now I'll turn the beacons on. Alright, we have deselected the external power. A neat feature on the bird here, folks. Here, let me come down here. If you go, your mechanic, MECH, and ATT switches, they actually bring up a menu. So I just turned off the, or if I was to now look up, we'll go ahead and do that. You now see under external power, this switch right here, you don't see available or on. Well, it better say available, otherwise it does weird things when you don't. Not going to crash your sim, just does weird things.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Alright, get back here real quick, get the chocks removed.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Brakes off.
Starting for spec, and you may start engines.
I'm just having fun right here, folks, looking at us as we push back. I know it's going to get all screwy here in a second. Oh, the AI traffic here cracks me up. In any sim, folks, it just cracked. You see him slam on them brakes? My goodness. I don't want the sodas that airplane's going to get. Alright, we've had enough fun here. Let's get in here. Start them up, folks. Real simple in a bus. Move your switch here to ignition. Make sure you got your air pressure or your pressure's built up. We'll start number 2 first today. Now, one interesting thing, real world Airbus pilots, hey, fill me in on this one. What is the deal with cooling on these engines? Is it just because of the heat or the density altitude? What's up with that? It's just something that's just been kind of curious in me here.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Do y'all want me to crank up the engine noise? Okay, number 2 is now available. Let her get finalized and out of here. Turn it on number 1. Now the reason I asked my question, folks, we're going to build up to about 10 something now.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have fun up there.
Now, when we were in El Alto, our last flight, if you folks go and find this in the video clips, YouTube has it, Twitch still has it. We had like 40 seconds to let that engine cool. So I'm really curious what is behind all of that. I I get what it's saying. It's cooling, but all right, there's the pin. But what is behind all of that? Because I don't understand that. All right, with the operator showing us the pin, I just simply flash lights at him, even though I know you all, well, that means you can taxi. Yeah, I can. But I'm not, because I still got a few things to do here. All right, so ignition switch back to normal. Although I ought to probably keep that over. Maybe put it back on for takeoff. APU bleed off. Pack flow is high because we are 4,500 feet above sea level, folks. It's a hot day. Making those packs, you know, put as much out as they can. See, APUs or bleeds off, ground spoilers, arm them. That's all you got to do, folks. Pull them up. Set 1, right? 1 up, okay. Matter of fact, I think that's our next step is the pitch trim. Yep. All right, let me bring up this page. Pitch trim's right here. And all you got to do, run it up to 3.03. There you go. Now, while I'm here, I do a step a little further down. Why not? I'm here. Just exercise the ailerons and elevators and rudders. I'll explain here in a second. First off, for my control system, not doing this will sometimes cause me when I'm, you know, trying to finesse an approach, you know, make a slight left turn. All of a sudden it'll do this, and that thing will slam, and that needle will go right up, and the airplane rocks, you see sometimes. That's what it's from. Rudder. Rudder. You can actually, well, not in the Toliss, but Flight Factor do this taxi into rudder. Okay, that's good. Deselect. Okay. Pitch anti-ice we don't need. Back up top to the to the APU. And okay, the girls can, the flight attendants can arm the slides. I hate when it does that. Yeah, you can actually do that, folks. Just click it, and there they go. All right, next up, nose wheel light parking brake elapsed time. We got to get that running. That's 3 minutes. I didn't start the clock, but close enough. FMA, nav and climb are set. Auto brake max. And we'll go ahead since it's a relatively short taxi. Here we go. The big city of Reno. Never been, to be honest with you folks. All the years I drove a truck, never got to see Reno. Actually, in the truck, never got to see Vegas. That would actually take close to little over 10 years later. Me and the wife headed out there. Is that right? No, 20, almost 20 years later. 10 years we were up in Alaska. So, guess the trucking companies knew I'd hawk the truck if they sent me. Just kidding. No, I wouldn't. Not a big gambler, folks. Let's see. Rain radar on. Something we forgot to do in El Alto, and I'm kicking myself for that. What a place for that. Potential wind shear on. All right, we are ready to go. Final checks, engine mode. I am going to go ahead, since we are at a higher elevation, go into ignition. We're going to be doing a toga takeoff. How can you tell? No flex. And now the way and why a lot of people, I guess, well, besides the fact it's Europe, a lot of people don't like Airbuses, but you have these notches you go to in setting it, and folks, to me it is such an easy plane. And you know, when you boil it down, so are the Boeings. They're so easy now. They're not like the old days. And I don't know, they're just, I know they came out with these new or glass cockpits, but I like these. I love these Airbuses, folks. And with Toliss, you're getting something very similar to what you would see with your PMDG stuff in that other sim. So it is just high quality stuff, and just love it. All right, so we got sure. Hang on a second. 2 radars on. Let's try that. Okay, we're ready to go. One last check here. LA Center came up. Well, that may be a blessing, that may be a curse. Okay. All right, we're ready to go, folks. Reno traffic breeze 572 departing 17 right. Brakes off. Timer. Well, let's get our lights going. That's one thing I don't like. I don't know why it does that. But isn't this neat, folks? Look at the terrain around us. Here we go, folks. Chrono on. Did we start the clock over there? We sure did. Chrono's on. Let's do it. %. Toga. Airspeed's alive.
V1. Rotate. V2. Gear up.
Alright, there's our altitude. I'm going to go ahead and just bring the autopilot on. Okay. Back into climb thrust, which is just what it says, folks. We're just pulling the engines back a little bit on power, still enough to climb, but a little less wear and tear on the engine. All right, gonna get a little above that speed. Flaps up. Alright. So autopilot's on, throttles and climb, flaps are up, engine mode going back to normal. Ground spoilers down, flaps are up. And altimeter will set to standard at 18,000 and landing lights off at 10,000. Onward and upward. Oh, excuse me, folks.
feet.
Alright, 10,000 call means off with the lights. Okay, and there you go, folks. We're on our way. Hope you're enjoying. Hope the day is going well. Hey, you know, if you've been having a bad day, can I say one thing? It's Friday. Okay, I know some of you go, yeah, but Captain, I gotta work tomorrow. I gotta work Sunday. Well, you know, usually weekends, usually a little bit slower, a little bit quieter. Hopefully the same for you, and I hope you're able to kick back, relax. If not, do so today while listening to us. Tomorrow, feel free to be on air. We'll be here at 9 a.m. Local time here in St. Louis. That's about 1400 Zulu. And we're going to hopefully be wheels up by 1500 Zulu. That way you guys over in Europe can do your mathematical challenges to figure out what time that is. And we're going to cross the pond from Honolulu to Narita. It's about an 8, I call it a 9-hour flight. Could go as much as 10, depending on winds, but should be a fun time. Again, folks, there's places like Guam, Nadia, China has a bunch of places, Korea, Gimpo, by the way, folks. That's a great. I had a blast departing out of there. Those of you that fly one of the combat simulators, BMS Falcon or whatever it's called, you'll know that airport. That's one of the big ones in that sim. Great combat simulator, but DCS I know just hands down the best. But anyway, just for getting that in people's minds. The old, you heard about it in MASH, if you love that show, folks. That was the big airport they always went to go home and all. Hong Kong's like 5 hours out. Singapore's like 2 to 3 hours out. Incheon, Genpo, probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours out. Heck, come up from Kansai, an hour out. You know, whole bunch to choose from, folks. So you, in case that daunting 10-hour flight is daunting to you, dial it back, meet us, talk with us, but know this, we will be on the air for you. So
18,000 feet.
So keep that in the back of your mind. Also, those of you just tuning in, exclamation mark the word ticket, and that'll get you in the running for a gift card we're going to raffle away on the 27th of this month. That will probably be the last flight we do in July. And so, all right, folks, we're going to continue the climb out and look forward to getting up there. Don't see anyone following us, so that see how things go. But again, exclamation mark the word ticket. That will get you in the running for the gift card at the end of the month. Don't forget, tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Yes, QNH should go to standard at 18,000 feet. Thank you, Sing Sing, for that. Appreciate you. First time call. Welcome aboard. Hope you're having a great time. So, but again, 9 o'clock Central Time, U.S. 1400 Zulu, folks. For those of you that way can do the math into your time zone. We take off from Honolulu to Narita. We'll be flying the 747-200 from Toliss tomorrow. We'll be on VATSIM, irregardless of what Oakland radio, if they decide to come up or not. We will be flying, so online. Join us. It's the day we celebrate that you all made us an affiliate 2 years ago. So, all right, well, you know what? For the last hour and 5 minutes, I've done way too much talking, so I'm going to kind of let you all do the talking in the chat. Feel free to ask questions, talk amongst yourselves. But thank you for being a part of the stream today. Thank you for all the streams you've been a part of. Because like I said, 2 years ago on this date, we became an affiliate here with Twitch. And folks, if you're new to the channel, hey, love you to smash follow so you can follow along as we continue on our viewer appreciation month. Twitch users, right below in the about area, look for the flight schedule and you'll see now what the second half of the month has in store. The theme for this month, and I rarely do themes because they can be challenging, and this one was. Didn't think it'd be as hard as it came out to be. Destinations, vacation destinations, big ones that people like to go to. You know, it seems like an easy task, but coming up with about, we'll say 20, I think is what we did. I don't know how many we actually have done this month or will do. It actually got challenging, folks, to try to branch out into the world because I don't know much about places like Australia where people like to go. I kind of guessed. So thanks to VLOC and a few others from our Discord channel, they were able to pep me up, plus the beautiful CEO and bride in giving me ideas for destinations that I didn't even think of. So thank you so much. So I hope you enjoy them. Always subject to change if something really cool comes up that I just really never thought of. Places we've been already. We took off from oh, help me out here. Hang on, I'm going to actually have to open up my Discord channel, so hang on a second. You know, this, I hope when you reach the age I'm at, your mind functions a little better. I sometimes just can't remember everything. We started this whole thing off. Of course, I didn't write it down. Par for the course. All right, we'll go another way. Hang on. We started off Skathos. That was the name of the airport I was trying to think of. And headed over to Corfu. And then we did a nice little U.S. jaunt down to Florida. Everyone goes. It doesn't matter what time of the year. They all go to Florida. So we went to Sarasota out of Philly. But with that, we spotlighted a really great scenery that's came out. Philly in X-Plane is just outstanding, folks. Then we did a little 4th of July run from Eielson Air Force Base down to Elmendorf in Anchorage. Just a tribute to the country from the SIM US Air Force folks that I did. And then the fun flight came, folks. Midway to DC. Again, along the theme of the 4th of July at that point. Boy, we had fireworks on that one, folks. Check out that video at YouTube. Here, let me get you a link, so if you ever want to look at them. We actually had an engine fire on that one. It was not scheduled, planned, or anything like that. Poof. Like I said, had our own fireworks. Had to emergency land only about 75 miles into the trip in South Bend, Indiana. So then we've gone from Belgium to Barcelona. We've did a rescue flight from South Bend to continue that flight on. So kind of trying to be a little realistic there. Then we had some fun over the weekend. I have been wanting this aircraft in X-Plane 12. Love it in X-Plane 11. Couldn't figure it out until I just tried something and it worked. I hate when that happens because it makes me mad that I didn't do it months earlier. The Thronda Cessna 208B. Brought it over to X-Plane 12 and we did an adventure from St. Martin to St. Bart's. Highly recommend that, folks. Fun 20 mile flight, folks. Now we were in the amphib. We'll get to that in a minute. Just always, that's going to be one I do quite a bit. Not necessarily streaming, but just flying in general. But then I've heard about it, and you know, I thought, hey, let's go check it out. Saba Island. It's another 20-mile trek to the west. It's a 900-foot runway. Those of you that like short runways, paging Melvin Leroy. This airport is for you. I finally saw it, and turned for it, and looked at that runway and went, we're going to St. Martin. This is a divert. 900 feet, folks. And yes, They do scheduled service there. Obviously not in a 737 Airbus type aircraft. In the Trinidads, I think they are, is what they're, no, what the heck are those things called? Islanders. Yeah, they actually go in there, folks. Probably the Dash 6 could get in there, Twin Otter. And then this week, folks, we've been to Newark. We've been to, actually, the last flight we did, El Alto to Sao Paulo, Brazil. And I'm going, well, that's nothing. No, we went to the other airport with 6,000-foot runways for an Airbus. Folks, you're pushing those airplanes pretty good on a 6,000-foot. Gibraltar pushes them a little further. But, yeah, that was fun. That is a fun airport to go into. It's like going into Midway if you get the gist of it. I mean, you're two very busy airports, and yeah, that was fun. And then today's flight, and then we've got the Hawaii Tokyo tomorrow. So yeah, it's been fun, folks, and I like this kind of theming it like this, like we've done. But yeah, really hope you all have enjoyed, and like I said, thank you so much for those that have followed the channel this month, those of you that have subscribed. Oh, God bless you. You really help us in being able to purchase aircraft like this, help us purchase the Fearless 747 and others that we fly here. They're pay-wear aircraft. So thank you so much. So we'll just continue on here, and feel free, folks, if you want to join in. Now realize we have ATC up here in LA. And folks, that's not a news story. That's pretty typical. If they're ever down, there's something wrong. No, it used to be Atlanta was the same way, but lately they've been down more than I'm used to seeing. Now, granted, in the evening they're up. That'd be like if Boston went down. Holy mackerel! I think the world would have came to an end. I very rarely see them down. They're always up in mega traffic in there. All right, so again, thank you for flying with us. I'm going to play a couple, get some music rolling here in the background, and let me get it turned down here. Don't need it blowing our ears away. And hope you all have a great Friday as you kind of gear up for it here in the States. And if you're over across the pond, well, you're winding down. Well, actually, no, you're more wound up in it than we'll be. So I just looked at the clock. So thank you again. Thank you all for viewing. Be it just those that tune in, just first time chats and, never follow. Hey, great. We love having you here. To followers, to supporters, to our moderators, and our very important people that we have designated here. So thank you all for being a part of Flying with Mike. And like I say, folks, it's not me behind the microphone that made that happen. That was all you that got this to affiliate status 2 years ago. So thank you. All right, we're in cruise. Yeah, let's take a look here. X-Plane 12, folks. Beautiful scenery. I know a lot of you say, well, it needs the ortho. Yeah. I've seen it. It looks good. Don't get me wrong. But I kind of like the look here of it. Looking off towards the, kind of sorta towards the Bay Area, way off, way off in the distance, but I'm sorry. Just love everything about X-Plane. Would have been there a lot sooner, but just didn't look as good back then. When I came over to 11, now we're looking really good. And 12, they improved. I'd show off the clouds, folks, but you know, it just never rains in Southern Cali. Just never does. Or at least that's what the song says. And I want to say thank you to V1, because I love that position he puts the camera at here. Just love it. Thanks for that tip. All right, folks, we're in a commercial break. We'll be right with you. Again, thank you for those that subscribe. It's your generosity that's allowed us to get this wonderful Toliss A320 Neo, as well as the 319, the 747, and a couple of sceneries. So thank you so much for your support. And to that, we have allowed you to miss out on the commercials the others are seeing. So we're going to get into the departure or the arrival brief here as soon as we get out of these two commercials getting ready to run. It looks like the weather is cooperating. Okay, as you see here, we got our METAR as of 1951, which is about a half hour old. All right, folks, welcome back out of that commercial break. With just letting our subscribers know how much I thank them for their support. It's what allows us to get aircraft like this A320 Neo, the 319, the 747 that will fly tomorrow. And some of the scenery we've been able to put on. Atlanta, wow, what's the Nimbo scenery that I have for them is just phenomenal. Thank you for allowing me to be able to buy that with the proceeds. So to help make this a great, but for now, let's put this 320 to use here in this arrival brief. Okay. What I was getting ready is what you were hearing me starting into. Here is the METAR. It's about a half hour old. This one came out at 1951 Zulu. Current time 2038, so it's right around a half hour. We'll give her, take her. All right, so we're planning 27, 7,500, almost 7,600 feet usable. It's actually a little longer. I think it's closer to. Anyway, there's a displaced threshold. Winds 250 at 6, kind of shows you that here. 2990, a dry runway. Of course, I told you it never rains in Southern California. Landing weight 140,000. That does not seem right. But I'm always 137, so we'll go ahead and drop it down. Uh, 37.5. Okay, we'll be flaps full, air conditioning on. We're not going to add speed to the approach. We'll run medium on the brakes, and reversers, of course, will be on. So once you have, now this is the EFB on the plane. All you got to do is click compute. And it gives you, okay, you could actually set it to low. How far down will you go with that? Set it to high. How far will that be? So it gives you an idea how much runway will be remaining. And I think medium's a good, it's about midfield for us to come off the runway and still give people, and I'm moving it over because you know what's coming. Let's get our charts program back up. Okay, so anyway, our V approach speed 133. Let me clear out so you can see that. So we'll set it for about 135, 133, and there's our landing. So cool. All right, so let's bring up those charts real quick. And let me lock in on the aeroplane. Okay, we're coming in on the Comics 2 arrival. HUULK transition. Okay, just so y'all know. Real quick for this, it's an RNAV arrival. Does not specify runway, so we're good there. a D-ATIS, so I could have immediately gone to that site, checked for it, and got this data and what they're landing. Elevation 17 feet, a far cry from the 4,500 we were at. There's our transition, what's required. It's radar required, turbojet and turboprops can fly this. You got to pay attention to that. Turboprops, sometimes you're not allowed on them. Got to find a different one. And then our routing is from comics on down to the airport there. All right, so we're going to go HUULK, Deca, Joker, Gambit, Legion. Now, Legion, we need to be between 15,000 and 19,000. Comics, between 12 and 15,000. Flish, Lantern. Okay. Interesting YouTube video out there if you ever want to listen to real world ATC. It's between New York Approach, I believe it was, and JetBlue about these words right here. At a speed. Got comical. And then you can listen to other ones because there are even some that are even more. Oh my gosh, really, Muffy? You're that? I mean, you thought VATSIM could be bad. Wait till you hear the real world, folks. Woo! Anyway, so Lantern will be at 230. Not lower, not higher. And at or above 9,000. At or above 7,000. X-Man. Clome at 210. 6,000 feet. NATO still 6,000 feet. Okay, that's our RNAV approach. Okay, we are now. Let's get over to the actual approach we're going to do. It's an RNAV RNIP. I'm going to do this in a couple of sections. We'll start up here at the top with the frequency strip portion where it tells you the frequencies for ATIS, SoCal, Southern California approach, Lindbergh Tower. If you didn't know, San Diego used to be called Lindbergh Field. Okay, so that's where that comes from. Just like, some airlines, Cactus for America West. Where'd you get that from? They're based in Phoenix. Anyway, Ground and so forth. Just different ways of calling towers. It's an RNAV approach, so no frequency here. Final approach course 275. We'll see what that actually means here in a second. Rebo. Let me see if I can get down to it. Rebo is right here, but I can't tell you the DME because it doesn't have DME on this. All right, so 2,000 feet. And that's 1,900 feet above the ground, or just under 2,000. All right, with an RNIP of 1 or 0.11, 617 feet MSL is our minimum altitude, 600 feet above the ground. I know most of you go, is this supposed to be 200? Not by this chart, it isn't. 17 feet for both touchdown and airport. Okay. Real simple, out to SARGs. You can read the missed approach. Again, giving you the quick RNAV approach, RNIP, and transitions and what's required. The one I always like to point out to people, the VGS was usually on here. Anyway, if you get a localizer and visual glide slope, they usually differ. So RF is required. I'm not sure what RF is. Required frequency? At a max speed of 210, all at Clome. Then we go to AJAID, CADIG, Costner, or Kirstner, Say, Chichi, Rebo, and then the runway. That's our approach, folks. Again, starting at 6,000, working our way down. In the middle here somewhere is Nadu. We're going to check this here in a second. We don't have a lot of time, Okay, so from say, which is where we'll come in on the approach, 3,200 feet at or above. Chi-Chi at or above 2,700 feet. Rebo, we should be at 2,000 feet, and if there's any kind of glide slope indication, starting down on it. 3.5 degrees. Why? It's not because they love you. It's because they love you not to hit the buildings that are nearby. This is actually considered a more challenging approach. It's kind of like London City. Depending on the way you come in through the city buildings. Not through the building, but the buildings are all around you. I should say that more clearly. And to achieve this at our 133, we take this line and say about 800 feet a minute, folks. We'll have MALS for our approach lights, PAPIs. There's our missed approach. And again, down here is our minimums. We need at least 600 feet on that METAR to be able to come in. Okay. If it doesn't say 600 feet or it's lower, guess what? Find a different approach or find a different airport. 1.5 miles visibility required. Anything below, same thing. All right, so there is your approach brief, folks. And again, the approach is 133. We are inside the corridor here now where we can set our information. What I like to do, doggone it, I did it again. I thought I'd clicked out. I just come back here. I go here, and I get to see if we've got an update. We do not, so then I just start plugging it in. All right, how do you put this in? 29.90. 29 point. Make sure you put that point in, otherwise it's thinking you're putting in millibars. Millibars don't have that. 24. Wind 250 at 6. And folks, you can update this in your descent. It's not hardcore. Okay. All right, so remember what we wait, I may have screwed up here. Hang on a second, folks. Oh, I got rid of charts already. Okay. All right, let me bring charts in. Bear with me a second. Okay, now as you can tell, the EFB has nothing to do with what our minimum altitude, when we look up to see if we see a runway or not. Barrow, pull up the chart, is MSL, folks. That's your altitude above sea level. So you could put 617 in here. Guess what? It means exactly the same thing as how high you're above the ground here, which is 600 feet. Remember, 17 feet? Very apparent when we were in El Alto, 13,000 feet up. So this would have said, hypothetically, 13,617 feet. Hypothetically, folks. And then the above ground would be 200, 100, whatever. But you get the point. It's just what are we delineating the value at? So I'm going to go with 617. And at the same point, folks, when this reaches 617 on the good old altimeter, hang on a second, I'll get that out of your way. When this reads a 617 feet, if you're that good and can read it, then it'll say right here 600 feet. That's your radar altimeter, by the way, folks. All right, so they're calling V1 app 134. Like I said, folks, a 1 knot's not going to kill us. All right, so we are set up. Let's get rid of that. And I've been told other sims do not do this, so that's pretty cool, especially this one, which our moderator, Hawker125, really likes. All right, I need to get down here and see where we are in reference to top of descent. Up, coming on the chart here, at about 35 miles or so out. Now, one other thing you can do, and folks, I just don't, because it doesn't do yet enough, nor, more importantly, most ATCs don't use this, and it's called ACARS to communicate with. They just don't, and I don't know why, but you know, it is what it is. And there's our latest METAR, and I can print it. It should be sitting on the printer. My only gripe, if I want to use that word here, I can't pull it up and look at it. That, or I just don't know how to. But I can zoom down and look at it. So, you know, to me, I'd like to be able, okay, or see it, you know, be able to read it better. But, hey, that's just so persnickety, I don't even tell them about it. And, you know, and again, it's that loosen up behind the stick. He may not be doing it right. All right, folks. So again, exclamation mark ticket gets you in the running for a gift card we raffle off. You don't have to be on stream, by the way, that day to win. It'll be the 27th. It's a Thursday on the final stream of Viewer Appreciation Month. And it's my way of saying thank you to the winner. So exclamation mark ticket, you can enter every stream we do. So hypothetically, which will not happen today because I am still kind of tired, when we close out today, say I fired up another stream this evening, you'd be eligible to enter that as well and just get more chances at winning. So I wish I could run a tally of how many have put in. I just want to say thank you, folks, for continued support. So, all right, we are very close to top of descent. Let's get into that checklist real quick. Okay, landing elevation, auto, McDo's arrivals, performance, and I am going to do something real quick here that I didn't do before. Let me click data, function, and update my wins. Now you could put your flight plan in this way, folks. You can put your takeoff data. Matter of fact, I think I'd have to, again, real world Airbus pilots, doesn't matter if you fly the Neo or you fly the 19 or the 21 or whatever, I'm assuming this is how you would do that in the real world. So, I don't know. Or you go in and like, I think it's this side. Yeah, access wind data. wind request. And you've done the same thing. All right, top of descent. We're coming down. $15,000. Okay. Down we go. All right, folks. And again, real world bus drivers, I'd love to know how, let me go back to it. I just glanced over and saw us. Again, how we updated was went here, here. This is where you would get your flight plan, I'm assuming. You wouldn't have that in the real aircraft on the initialization page. Your takeoff data and your wind data here. Or is it on the actual aircraft there? I don't know. A little bit Airbus illiterate in the real world. All right, folks, we are starting down. All right, so top of descent winds were requested. We're coming down. Altimeter's at 18,000 feet. Now, this green dot you see, folks, the goal is to put it between here and this white line or yellow line. That means you're right on profile as the computer has predicted to get us to 15,000 feet at the point in your McDo that you've specified. Okay, looks like everything's descending as it should. Now, you see activate the approach here, folks. If you clicked it now, here, let me go to the next phase. It puts you here, slows the airplane to F speed, which is 146 knots. And you're going to drag that all the way in unless you take over your speed here. So what I recommend, and this is just yo layman pilot that flew Cessnas, Pipers, and Beechcrafts, once you go into where you're controlling the speed, come back and go into that. But if you're going to go back into a managed mode, it'll take you down. And folks, we are flying over the busy city of Angels. All right, let's take a look outside. Look at all those clouds below us, folks. We're starting to get into them. That is something really amazing with X-Plane 12. Out in the distance, guess what that is? Edwards Air Force Base. And Sawick, welcome in. And we got pretty good blue skies here. Glad to see all is well with you. Welcome aboard. We are coming in, Viewer Appreciation Month here. And we've come offline. I've had a lot of troubles in the past with LA Center. Plus they are, as usual, swamped, and that's one thing that kind of irritates me with, they won't bring up extra controllers or cover where they need to get the traffic moving. So, but you know, that's just silliness on my part. I know can't have real world ATC. So with 100 controllers controlling an area, so I get it, but just can get aggravating. That and trying to get a word in edgewise sometimes is rough. So, and they don't like it that I continue on. Oh, okay, didn't get a hold of you? Fine, we'll shoot the approach. I don't care. But yeah, they're really busy. So, all right, so here we come down the coastline. It's kind of a weird way in here. I'd have planned this slightly different, but hey, it's what SimBrief gave us, so I'd have planned us to go a little east of LA and coming down. I think it's the Bartlett or Barrett or something like that approach or star into San Diego, but maybe it pushes into those precious MOAs out there for the Edwards and what's the Navy one south of them? Oh, can't think of it. Maybe it pushes into there, and that's why you can't. Okay, now it's bugging me. Now I gotta go look. Okay, doggone it, I can't find it now. Nope, not that one. Oh, it must not be that important. Well, let me switch maps real quick here. Oh well, I can't find it. It's gonna take me a few minutes to figure it out. So you know what? We got landing to do. That's more important. But it's an old Navy base. They do things kind of like Fallon, except this is more test related in association with Edwards. It's on the other side of the lake bed, and I'm not seeing any sign of it. And I think it may have shut down. It might be called Buckeye Lake or very close to it. Oh well. All right, so how we doing here? 23,000 getting ready to come over Gambit. Right now, Legion, we needed to be no lower than good old oh man, hang on a second. 19 or no lower than 15,000. Hang on, I like to reset these if I can. Go. So seeing if anyone's helping me out there. All right. coming up to Joker, then Gambit. All right, we're below 25,000, so we'll put the seatbelt sign on. Lights are set. Forgot these don't have the middle. The auto, not the auto, what do they retract? Or they just retract the light out and then illuminate with the second click. So I hope your Friday, folks, is looking awesome. So far, things here in the Gateway, here in the middle of the country, U.S., doing great as well. And hope you all are having a great day, too. And for those joining in, just so you know, today is the actual anniversary date when the viewers like you put us over the top and we became a affiliate with Twitch. So, and that's what this month's been basically a recognition of you, the viewers, culminating on the 27th with the raffle giveaway. And exclamation mark ticket puts you in the running for it. Even if you were in the last stream and got one, you can get your name in the hat twice, 3 times, 4 times. Each time we stream, each time you get an opportunity to get into the gift card raffle. And you don't have to be present, folks, to win. I'm writing down your Twitch IDs, so that way makes it easy for me to come back, get a hold of you and say, hi, how do you want this gift card sent to you? So, all right, we're coming up on 18,000 feet. One last check in San Diego. $2,990. I asked this question on a lot of streams, especially with the Airbus. Owing the 737 in particular, but I can't remember if you can do it on the others. You can preset your altimeter so that when you click standard, it goes right to it instead of, I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's nice that you have that option. Here, I have to click in, dial it down, where I wish I could automatically go to it, because, you know, folks, let's be real, sometimes things are really hopping in the ATC world here. Okay, we're coming up here. We need to be headed for 12,000.
18,000 feet.
Okay, well, we're technically on profile right now, but I am going to go ahead and kind of start steepening us a little. Reason being, comics, we needed to be 15,000. I'm sorry, Lugen, which is what we're about to cross over here, folks. We needed to be 15,000 to 19,000. We're not off by much. But the closer we get to Clome, where we need to be at 6,000 feet, I'm scared we may still be high. So I'm going to try to get us on track here. I'm going to kind of watch us to comics. And that's 12,000 to 15, which we've made the 15. So, you know, one thing that's missing here, hang on a second. There we go. I had the sound turned down so when we were outside the plane you could hear the music a little bit better. And for those curious, this is a new airline, at least to me. I've known about it for about a year or two, and I'm sure it's even older than that. But it literally, to me, feels like it's taken the country by storm. For a while there, just like every time I opened up Facebook, or every day, boom, another new destination, boom, another one, and then another one, and then another one. I kept reading them closely. Is my airport going to be on there? At the rate they were going. So I don't know if they'll ever show up or not, but it'd be cool. I like this paint job a lot. So, okay, there's comics. But really do like this paint job. But I'm curious how much weight that added to the plane. I know I'm the only, like I said, that weird loose nut behind the stick that would think, how much weight did that add? Why, a lot of airplanes don't have a lot of paint on them, folks. It's all about how much you can cram in that cargo, cram in that cabin, and cram in that cargo bay below. Okay, we gotta continue this descent down to 9,000. And start thinking about speed. Okay, let's see what the speed brakes will do here to get us slowed up. And let's get the lights on. Now, if some of the real streamers out there that actually fly these in the real world tout, I did not turn those lights on for the landing gear or the turnoff. They're on the nose gear. They'll come on when the landing gear comes out. There's a switch in there that turns them off, even if the switch is on. Like I said, don't know if that's true or false. Okay, we are on profile and lantern. Let's drop down to 6,000. All right, and then Clome, which is right about here, folks, is 6,210 knots. And hang on, I am gonna try something here. Disregard.
10,000 feet.
Okay, there's our 10,000 foot mark. I don't like this. Alright folks, we are downwind, basically runway 27, descending to 6,000. And what I'm going to do is switch charts here. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that chart. Doggone it. Go. Alright, so again, Clown, which is the next fix ahead. 210, 6,000 feet. Followed by NATO, and then we start the descent. Actually, no. Then we start in. So we'll start our descent down to 3,200 feet. Then we'll come out, drop down to 2,720 or 2,000, and get her done. Give you an idea. There's the city. There's the airport. Okay, spoilers can come in. And we'll set for 3,200. Okay, we got a little bit of high terrain that's going to be right behind us, folks. So that's why we got to be a little cautious with this descent. Go to flaps 2. I'll be putting the gear out. Say is 5, 7, 8, 9.5, potentially 10 miles out. So no need for the gear. Actually, I wish I hadn't dropped. But again, I'm wanting to keep this thing as much in control as I can. And then, here we go, working our way around the mountain. And look, it is giving us glide slope. Okay, approach checklist precision. Non-ILS. Okay, so speed brakes won't be set. Flaps 230 will be okay. FCU altitude set will be set to go around here shortly. And we're getting ready to come around for the runway, folks. We're going to go ahead and set 2,700 because All right, folks, we're final for runway 27. Not sure how long I had my microphone muted, but we're about to take over and bring it in. I think I am going to do that. Flaps need to go one more. Brakes medium. Okay, you can see the glide slope coming up. Now, if we were into soup, I'd still be in the autopilot mode to 600 feet if need be. Here's your radar altimeter, by the way, folks, right there. And here we go.
1,000.
Getting a little bit off, so let me come back on course. All right, we got our speed matched, glide path matched. Don't see the pappies.
100 above. 500. 400. Minimum.
See the buildings? It's not so bad, folks, from what I've seen in real world pictures. But, yeah.
300.
A little bit of a challenge. Again, you're aiming for those big white
200.
marks on the runway. And I don't think they'd set power lines that close.
One hundred. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Out reverse and welcome in. I didn't even remind people to put predictions in. Let's go ahead and exit the runway here. And let's just kind of look upstream a little bit where we want to park. I think I want to just park, I don't do this very often. Let's head over to this area right here. All right. Welcome again, Lindbergh Field, as some know it. Most know it as San Diego. All right, and spoilers down, flaps up. Go down here a little further. Hey, poo. And which one do I want? I like the one straight ahead. You know what? Let's do a little trick here. Let's come into this one. All right, brakes are set. Okay, train's off, brake fan. How we doing on the brakes? They're a little on the hot side. Okay, wheels. Okay, they're getting cooled off here. Folks, welcome in. And, not yet. And we'll help cool them. All right, welcome in, folks. Love the animation, folks. They did a great job. They kept it from being just outright overloading on systems. Really good job, and it's actually pretty appropriate. They've done it in keeping it that way. Let's go back and take a look at the flight. I think we've got everything done while they're doing their thing here. No smoking, outer fuel tanks, seat belts okay, looking okay. Yep, brake fans. Bear with me a second. Let's see how the wheels are doing. They're just about there. All right, so let's take a look at it, shall we? First off, we did this with FedEx, and probably, well, we caused a little bit of problems on us in that we did the rewind without signing out with them. So, but that's okay. We got through it, and all is well now. All right. Okay, looks like the brakes have cooled. Let's see how they're doing. Are they still 290s? I got some 280s. We'll let them go a little cooler. All right. Wow. Oh, for a second I thought I had spoilers up. Okay. All right, folks, so let's look at it, shall we? $274 feet a minute at 122 knots. Okay, a little slow there, folks, but we did good. Recorded. And we'll view the details. Alright, so we flew about an hour and 25 minutes. We went 400 miles. There's how much fuel we burned, and here's our landing. 1.6 G's. Hey, it's kind of wake you up, make you get off the plane. This isn't a hotel for you. I love saying that. Although, believe me, some of the things I've seen, folks, woo, you all didn't see any of that. Okay, so real quick, how you get here, folks, hang on. Let me, dashboard. Okay, so go to your logbook. Oh, I went to my fleet. There we go. Click the one above it. Okay, you'll see once you finalize your flight, which I didn't have to, go to the last one, click view details. There you see it all. Then full landing report gets you all of this nice metric data. Look at that. Your pitch, my pitch was 6.5 degrees. This a little slow, and I may have pulled a little early on the flare. 274 feet a minute, folks. All in all, great landing. Real quick sum up here. There's where your threshold here. When we take off from San Diego, we come all the way down. Sometimes they taxi you up and around. It's however ATC wants it. And then we are parked right about. Is that the right one? I think we're in this one right here. Okay, so there you go, folks. There's the sim toolkit. All in all, a good landing on a 9,400 total length of the runway. Displaced quite a bit, but 2,200 feet from the threshold. That seems kind of 1, 2, 3. Okay, 22 is about right. So, all right. So there we have that. And close that out. All right, let me get the off. All right, bear with me a second here, folks. We're gonna switch gears to this view. All right, so they're closing. And let's go ahead and get the main door closed too. Really good animation, really good. And as you can see now, the doors are closing. Here, let me just kind of pan around. Really good. This is default, folks. I have not added anything. Not even sure if San Diego has anything because I'd like to get something. I don't like obstructions right here, and I'd really like this to be more realistic here. But it's really good nonetheless. Okay, get the jetway away. You reset the parking brake. And get rid of chocks. All right, we tried this once before with, oh wait, you guys are in a commercial break. Stand by. We'll get to this in a second. Really well done. Default scenery here. Really well done. All right, folks. Hey, welcome back. We're going to go ahead and try to do a replay. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Right now, while X-Plane is still, while in now general release, not general beta release, we still run into hiccups that cause problems. Okay, here we go. And by the way, this comes with X-Plane. You don't have to download it like others make you, if you so choose. It's always there for you, and you can start it, as you're about to see, either right from when we first signed on to anywhere along the way. You can replay it. You don't have to configure the plane. The only thing I do right now is make sure the parking brake is set and all the doors are closed. That, to me, is my best chance of it working in X-Plane 12. X-Plane 11, I've never had it crash to desktop. Okay. I think that's far enough. Actually, yeah, we'll go with that. Because if I change it, you know what'll happen. All right, let's get some appropriate music, folks, as we watch 1,000 words play out on screen.
1,000.
Oh, there's the Pappies. They're on the wrong side of the runway, if the chart was to be believed. That's why I didn't see them. Oh man, nice, 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 nice. All right, let's back it up here. Yeah, a little bit of a long landing. Let's go back out. Screenshot mode. All right. Really not a bad landing at all. Let's take a look at it from some passenger seats coming in. Truly not bad at all. Oh wait, we're gonna go back further. I want to see that as we come down the skyline. Look at that, folks. Wow. Really well done there, Laminar. Man, really a great job. Coast Guard hangars right there, folks. Wow. Touchdown. Reverse. Well, folks, that was phenomenal. Great time flying with y'all today. I really hope to see you all tomorrow. 1400Z is the scheduled start time. Hope to, like I said, see you all and fly with you all. I'd love to do it from Honolulu, but always there's a whole lot of airports between us and there that you could pick up and join us. Hope to see you tomorrow, 1400, 1500. Hopefully wheels will be up and we're on our way. Again, nice landing here in San Diego. Hey folks, thank you for flying with Mike! Ticket. Got about another 4 or 5 minutes to go. And you'll have a chance again tomorrow. God bless you all. Have a great day. See you then.